Siri. I have a
So much clothes. Yum.
I have a Diet Coke. There's a Diet Coke crisis going on. It doesn't taste the same.
No.
I don't know if you're aware, but cake. So I've been getting the McDonald's one.
As you should. It's the best.
Yeah, and it's because it normally is, because apparently they have this whole process where they like chill the syrup before, and it comes in like a steel container as opposed to like a bag, like a plastic bag. And we're environmental and stuff, so we want to make sure that it comes in and the environmentally friendly packaging. But it just tastes like they didn't add it. Like, when you get it and you taste like the syrup was running out.
Can't say that I do.
It tastes like a bit like watery, and like they didn't have enough syrup. It tastes like that, but it's like on purpose, because I went to multiple different locations, and now I'm trying the canned one, and it tastes not great too.
I'm gonna say inflation, supply chain issues.
Yeah,
I
think they're watering down our Diet Coke, just like they're watering down our gas. Ooh.
Actually, I just saw in the mom Facebook group that I am in, that gas is $1.99 at that one station.
Yeah, at Costco it's $1.99.
No, that one station that I go to.
Oh, so it's not even gatekept by a membership card.
No.
Why do you think Costco makes you have a membership?
Because that's the way that they rope you in with their sales.
And they go cheaper. What's your top 3 favorite Costco purchases? Go.
Like things that I enjoy buying there, or like things that I always buy there?
You could do a mix. You could add like one, yeah.
Okay.
Like overall top 3 favorite Costco purchases. I'll think of 2.
Salmon nuggets, maple glazed salmon nuggets.
Those are so good. I don't even like salmon. Those are so good, but they're so expensive.
So good.
They're for the rich. Oh, you do one, I'll do one. I'm going to say whatever Miss Vicky's flavor they're currently offering. They're doing the spicy deal right now. I know they have salt and vinegar. We can add that to the list. So I'll add that as 1.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Number 2?
In no particular order.
No. I would have to say their clothes. They sometimes carry some really cool things.
Yeah, they have some good clothes.
Like really cheap.
Yeah. So we'll just add, okay, and then mine would be, ooh, you know what's good? These, those, I don't get these all the time. And by all the time, I mean rarely. Oh, scratch that. The Nanaimo bars. They're Nanaimo bars during Christmas. The quantity, perfect. The price, acceptable. And the quality, you'll never find anything better. Freeze a Nanaimo bar, people. Freeze your Nanaimo bars. Put it on a shirt, freeze your Nanaimo bars. They taste better. Because sometimes what happens is you don't like Nanaimo bars, do you?
I don't have strong feelings about Nanaimo bars. Like, if they're at a potluck, I'll have one, but
they're very potluck food, yeah.
I don't think I'd ever buy them for myself because I want a Nanaimo bar.
Problem with Nanaimo bars is they're like so expensive to make because you have to get coconut and like in the little graham cracker crust. For people that don't know what a Nanaimo bar is, I don't know how universal they are. It's basically
they're just a thing here.
Which here we're going to give you another hint. If you can find out where Nanaimo bars are. Next time on Mythbusters. But yeah, no, what a Nanaimo bar is there's like a graham cracker crust, a chocolate graham cracker crust that usually has some sort of nut in it, and then some sort of like coconut shred. So that's the first layer. Then there's a custard, just like your basic custard. And then there's a chocolate ganache on the top. And if you do it right, you have the thick chocolate in the middle, the fluffy custard, thick chocolate on top, the fluffy custard in the middle, and the crumbly crust. It's so good. And frozen, they're even better. So I would say that was my number 2 Costco purchase.
My number 3 would be like toiletries, like razors, body wash, dry shampoo. I always buy in bulk because it's so expensive everywhere. So I want it at a steal of a deal because I'm going to use it anyway. I currently have 4 unopened Costco dry shampoos under my cupboard or under my sink in the cupboard.
Ooh, yeah, I think we get the Costco shampoo. It's so good. The best day of my life, or maybe like top 5 day of my life was when I got my Costco membership. And like top 15 moments of my life is when they let me keep my hat on in the picture. I was like, thank you. I actually, what will kind of always haunt me about my Costco picture is I didn't know I had COVID, but I had COVID in it. So if I look a little off, I'm just going to blame COVID. Just like how I'm going to blame COVID that my Diet Coke doesn't taste as Diet Cokey. And so I would say my third, the bronze medal, in no particular order, of my Costco purchases is their food court.
Yeah.
Whatever they have, the chicken strips, the best. The ice cream, twist cone, poutine. They know what they're doing with that stuff. The $1.50 for a hot dog and a beverage.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Inflation has yet to reach Costco. As soon as it does, I'm moving to Finland because we're stars there anyway.
Yeah, we can make money there, so.
Exactly. So, I mean, honestly, enjoy us while you can, North America. That's the title of the episode. Okay, welcome. Yeah.
I think you've given away too much.
With that being said, welcome to episode number Quattro. How has it only been 4 episodes?
Time's not real. That's what I've learned this year. Time does not exist.
Well, time doesn't exist, but does the limit exist?
The limit does not exist. Katie Heron said it herself.
If we knew anything, we know the time and the limit does not exist. But welcome to episode number 4 of the Nobody.
Nobody asked for this podcast.
Now, this is essentially, I'm going to call this our Instagram live episode because it is currently 6:46 p.m. on July 6th, 2022, Pacific Standard Time. And this will come out July 7th at 12 a.m. midnight Pacific Standard Time. So this is the soonest we've ever done our homework.
Turnaround time. It's a quick turnaround time.
It's quick turnaround time, and that's going to mean 2 things. First thing is we're probably not going to edit as much, so this has to be a perfectionist episode.
It's going to be raw. It's going to be real.
Yeah, as opposed to our other episodes. Yeah, it's going to be low budget and low time, as opposed to our other episodes that were very high budget.
And very high time.
High tide. This is the quickest we've done our homework. I feel like I'm back in university doing papers at the last minute.
It's been like 5 minutes since we graduated. Calm down.
What was your philosophy on procrastination? Were you a procrastinator?
Kind of, yes and no. Like I couldn't motivate myself to do as much unless there was a deadline. Like I could still get some stuff done, but it would be like a little bit.
See, you would always offer to like read my papers, but the problem was I finished them like 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
So the proofreading was really, you couldn't really
was in the pudding.
You couldn't do peer editing unless your peer was up at like 11:52.
Yeah.
And was ready to go. Yeah. So basically, this is our perfectionist episode, our Instagram Live perfection episode. And just like the first 3 episodes, we don't have much going on. But I mean, what we're going to talk about, we hope you like. And if you don't, there's always next week.
We're always good at talking about nothing.
Do you know what's actually embarrassing? I think the theme will probably end up being stuff we're embarrassed about, stuff we hate about, because I have just a couple different topics that we can run down. But my first embarrassment is in the month leading up to us starting the podcast, I did extensive testing on microphones, on headphones, on what software to use. In the first episode, extensive. I did it like around the clock from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for like 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
In the span of about like a month, I want to say. And what I found was, not what I found, but I found what I thought was a good combination. Now, the problem with that is the first episode we used it, and audio not great, but good enough. The second episode we used the equipment, but the plug wasn't plugged in, so we were pretty much cosplaying podcasters. We were pretending like we were using our microphones without knowing we were using our microphones. So the sound quality you heard was not the quality that had been extensively tested. It was my laptop's that built-in microphone. Now, part of the third episode was us on Zoom. The 4th episode today is us on Zoom. And then part of the 3rd episode, because I'm sure you all heard it, was us and Dairy Queen. Now, my point in saying all this is we have used the equipment that I tested rigorously exactly one time.
Yep.
And the bigger issue with that is it's not even the best quality episode that we have.
Nope, not even a little bit, not even close. I would say it might be the worst.
I think the best one would be the episode that I thought it was plugged in and it wasn't. I actually think my built-in laptop microphone was better than anything that I could provide us. So
That's brutal.
I guess the answer was right in front of us. We spent tens of dollars and ones of hours to realize that just use your built-in microphone. So if you're going to do a podcast, just use the built-in microphone. A little bit of sniffling. Kata, keep talking. We can't edit. React. Sorry, what? Yes, would you like to explain to our people what you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm on a very busy schedule these days. My life is quite hectic. I am not only a rising podcaster in Finland, I also run a shempire. I'm a bit of a girl boss, if you will. So I
can attest she is, yes.
I have a lot of things to do in the day, but I don't have a lot of hours to get them all done. So, like the girl boss that I am, I'm multitasking, folding and putting away my laundry while also podcasting, because what would Dolly do?
Well, Dolly would wake up at 3 a.m. We read somewhere
I wake up at 4 a.m. So
she has you beat by 1 hour. We read somewhere that Dolly Parton wakes up at 3 a.m.
We can't all be Dolly.
No, we can't.
I got these shorts from Costco.
Ooh, how timely. I was going to say something and I can't remember. No, we're going to leave this in. No edits. I was going to say something. I'm going to take a sip of my Diet Coke and we're going to think like politicians when they take a sip of their beverage and pretend they have an answer. What was I going to say? Okay, anyway, we're going to move to next on my list. Gingivitis. Kata, are you aware of what gingivitis is?
Isn't it like a gum disease?
Yeah. Did they ever threaten you with it at the dentist?
No. Every time I go to the dentist, it's the same thing. It's, Kata, your teeth are such bad business. They're too perfect, and I can't make any money off of you. Actually, funny enough, I was supposed to have a dentist appointment this weekend, but I rescheduled to next week because, like I said, girl boss, CEO.
So you'll be telling us in 2 weeks the recap of your dentist experience?
Yeah, maybe.
My point with gingivitis was, I feel like it doesn't necessarily exist. Now, if you have it, I'm very sorry. Like I'm sure it's not nothing, but I feel like I would have had it by now. I've been going to the dentist every 6 months for my entire life, and they're always like, you look like you're at risk for gingivitis. We're seeing those gums, gingivitis-y. But I've never progressed to full-blown gingivitis. I've had conjunctivitis, that's pink eye. And I feel like, and it's always in the toothpaste commercials, like, this will stop gingivitis, but like, what is it? Like, what are we stopping? I'm going to Google it. And I'm going to keep talking because no edits. Do you remember the 21st night of September?
I feel like you're going to have to edit this a little bit or else it's going to
No edits.
Stop saying that.
Gingivitis is a common and mild form of gum disease that causes irritation, check, redness, have that, swelling, yep. Swelling of your gingiva. Love that. That's the name of this episode. The part of your gum around the base of your teeth. It is important to take gingivitis seriously and treat it promptly. Symptoms, tender gums, and bleeding on probing. Well, I mean, I'm a bloody mess every time I go to the dentist.
Probing their gums?
Well, at the dentist, when they're like, somebody didn't floss. Okay, I'm going to be the dentist asking if you're flossed, and you're going to be me telling the dentist that I did, but you're lying. Okay, so how's your brushing and flossing going?
Pretty good. I brush pretty regularly. Definitely floss a couple times a week.
Liar.
Some weeks more than others.
Is that how you play it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say, because here's the thing, you can't lie completely. You can't be like, floss every day, it's my favorite activity. So I'll be like, my flossing could be better. And I just let them interpret what that means. Like, could be better, like he could do it 5 days a week and he does it 3, could be better, does it every other month. Let them figure that out.
I have a real question.
Please ask, by all means.
Why do socks always go missing? Like, I'm looking at my sock drawer right now,
Like
and I have
socks as a
one,
pair or like one?
two, three, four lone socks.
The
Just
Lone Ranger.
and
No, but the beautiful part
not
about that,
only not only are they alone, they don't even like I couldn't even match them with each other. Like they're four completely different kinds of socks. Like one's a crew sock, one's an ankle sock, one's one of those little no-show socks, and one's a fuzzy sock.
see, I was about to say the beautiful thing about that is two alone socks could make a pair. And knowing my fashion sense, you wouldn't be shocked to know that I would probably just go with
Like
it.
I'm not gonna match these two together. They're like two different sizes.
She's holding up for the listener, she's holding up a gray one and a white sock. I would just go for it. Just wear pants.
It's July.
So July. No edits, no edits, no edits. Okay, I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you can go in the chocolate aisle
Yeah.
and you go to the dark chocolate section, which is like the rich people chocolate or like the fancy people chocolate section? Like you pass the Reese's, the milk chocolate, and they have the percentage on. Do you know what that means? This isn't a pop quiz. I'm just asking.
What
Like,
percent cacao it is?
but what does that mean?
The
Like, what is
woman
it?
was too stunned to speak.
No edits, no edits, no edits.
Oh my god.
No, but what does the percentage mean?
Like how much chocolate, like cacao nib it is versus like other ingredients. Like fillers, like milk and sugar and
So if
garbage.
I buy like 100% dark chocolate, what is that getting me besides a stomach ache? I'm
I don't
Googling
know. Ask a doctor.
100% dark chocolate. Do you know that I asked the doctor, what's the medical term for pinky?
And what would they say?
He said digit. I said, thank you. Because I was like, there's no way in medical school. They're like, yeah, now flip open to your medical textbook, page 48. We're going to learn about the pinky. Like that wasn't right. I knew something was fishy there. So at the end of the appointment, he's like, oh, do you have any questions? Like probably thought I was going to say, something medicinal. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so
well, have you translate pinky from English to medical English? And he's like, I got you. Okay, I Googled it. Is 100% dark chocolate healthy? That's not exactly what I wanted to know. Is there such thing as 100% dark chocolate? Let's get some basics out of the way. 100% dark chocolate is unique in the chocolate world. By definition, it's unsweetened. Unsweetened chocolate.
sounds like something I don't want.
Sounds gross. Do you know what my computer just flashed?
Are you dying?
No, but my computer it's at 6%.
Do you want to go get a charger?
No, I think we'll be good. No edits, no edits. Because sometimes, like my phone, I write emails on 1%. Like, did you ever have the phone where it went from 100% to 40% in like 3 minutes?
No.
Oh, I had that. I think it was like the iPhone, like maybe 4, like toward the end when Apple really tries to bug it because they have us by the balls.
That would have been like 5 years ago. You think I remember what happened 5 years ago? I barely remember what happened yesterday.
Hmm. No edits. Okay. I have to say, I have a mighty good update, or sorry, Gupdate for the week. But I will ask you: Do you have any Gupdate before
No,
I unleash? No pun intended.
that interesting.
No, but you do have a gut related update, not a Gupdate. But didn't you get some like you got a gut related merchandise
Didn't
from
we talk
Tar?
about this last week?
I don't think so. We
I'm
were
pretty
okay.
sure.
I would also like to apologize for last week. We were tired.
Yeah, last week was
If you haven't listened to episode 3 yet, just skip to the part where we're in Dairy Queen. I think
yeah.
we really made up for it. No, I don't think you talked about the pop yet, so you can.
Okay, so in the country south to us, in the southern region,
Yeah.
they have something called poppy, which is a pop that is supposed to be good for your gut health. Like it has apple cider vinegar and a bunch of other mumbo jumbo. It's supposed to be good for like your gut
Flora,
biome.
our gut flora.
Yeah, and so I bought a couple, and you know what? I was like, it says like it's strawberry lemon flavored or watermelon, whatever. I'm like, you know what? This is probably gonna taste like
Shiitake.
insert sound effect here.
Yeah. No edits.
But it's actually surprisingly delicious, and maybe it's a placebo, but my gut doesn't feel as sensitive.
Yay.
So, Poppy, if you want to sponsor us,
Well, Papa, you can sponsor us, but I don't want your gut to get too good, or else we really have to.
we're not gonna have a Gupdate.
There's going to be no Gupdate. I have a pretty substantial Gupdate. The other day I was at work. That was the only one there. So I really, I had to be doing what I was doing. There was no escape. And I was walking around. I was, doing whatever. I'll leave the work part of mystery, but I was working, and I started to feel a little bit of a rumble. And I was like, oh. And that minute when you're just thinking like, is this gonna pass?
Yeah.
Like, is this just like something's going, ooh, like, is it just a hello? Or is my gut going to start screaming at me? And I thought, okay, it passed. It was a quick minute, and then we're good. And then I gave it about 30 minutes, and then I started getting the sweat. You know the eyebrow sweat,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, oof. And they came back, and I was like, this isn't good. But then it went away.
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh, phew, we're good.
I'm scared.
Because from this point I still had about an hour. I had about an hour before I could be relieved, literally, physically, metaphorically, spiritually, all of the above. So another half an hour goes by, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm not having another contraction, thank goodness. And then I'm really not in a position to leave, and I have to start clenching.
Oh no.
Which it's never good. So I'm basically walking around work like a penguin with my butt cheeks clenched, for good reason, walking around waddling, waiting for it to pass, waiting for it to pass. It finally passes. And I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. But I get to the bathroom, and it's like I'm no longer in labor. Like nothing was coming out. It was terrible. And I was like, I know the second that I get out of this toilet, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
This is disgusting. Can't wait to put this on the internet. So I get back. I was like, okay, that was a bust. Nothing happened. It was actually not a bust was the problem. I was like, okay, nothing happened. And then about 45 minutes later, the same thing. I was like, I gotta go. And I was like, I have to ride this high. So I just sprinted. I shouldn't have left, but I was like, I gotta go. So I ran, took off what needed to be taken off, got to the toilet. And the problem is we're going to do a Shark Tank pitch episode, and I'm going to start my pitch early. They need to make some sort of seat covering. And I'm sure they do make this, because any good idea I realize already exists. Any good idea I have, someone thought of it before, but they need to make some sort of seat covering. Because if I'm going to a public toilet, I don't have time to sit there and do arts and crafts on the toilet seat so that I don't get hepatitis.
Those liners.
See, I think that's a women's bathroom thing, because I've seen it in the family bathrooms. I remember when I was younger and we go in the family one, they have that next to the changing table, but I've never seen a toilet paper liner in the men's bathroom. So anyway, it was a happy ending. Everything was good. Everything came out smoothly, and I felt better. I don't know if it was something I ate or what, but it was definitely liquidy, but it was a one and done. It was not a repeat offender.
You do realize you're putting this on the internet for everyone to hear forever and ever.
Yeah, and I'm actually okay with that. I think there could be a lot worse. I've made peace with it, and I actually feel better, because that's been on my chest for a couple of days, and I was like, okay, I got to tell the story on the podcast.
Yeah.
So this concludes our Gupdate segment. I have another quick, I don't understand this question. Alaska.
What about her?
How did it have anything to do with America when it doesn't even touch America?
Because I think they bought it from the Russians.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. And by heard, I mean my brother told me, but I was like, what? They're not even close to America.
Neither's Hawaii, but look at them.
No, but it's closer. There's a whole country in between America and Alaska. So I just thought that was weird. That was my knee fat buckling together. That wasn't a fart, if anyone heard that.
Your knee fat?
Yeah, do you know when you go like, anyway, no edits, no edits, no edits. Do you have any other like questions you're pondering? Anything you want to get off your chest? I really recommend it. Like if you have like a deep story to tell.
I don't know that I have a deep story. It's been a week, and after the last episode, I really would like to make a comeback, but maybe have some things to talk about, but I really don't, unfortunately.
Don't worry about it because I'm looking at our numbers and you know what? Our listeners aren't necessarily a plenty. I hate to say this, but I believe we have free fallen off of the charts of Finland. Like
No.
we plummeted, like our 15 minutes of Finnish fame, I believe, are finished, quite literally.
No.
But it felt good. Like at least we are has-beens instead
Yeah,
of never
it
were.
was.
Yeah, we're Finnish has-beens. Kiitos, Finland. Kiitos. But yeah, I'm gonna pull this up really quickly. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, what Nordic country should we go for next? Because I have some family in Sweden.
Oh,
We're gonna
perfect.
have at least 6 listeners there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm about to do like a DNA and me, and what's that called? 23 and me ancestry situation. And I want to see like what of my family members are listening. Because if I do it and I'm like 100% Finnish, that's gonna throw me for a loop. I was just gonna pull up our stats, our analytics,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to list off the countries that we are, famous in. Because I was looking, there's some like countries that I've never even thought of going to where people have technically heard our voices. And I just thought that's funny. Let me look. No edits.
I don't think we have the rights to the Jeopardy music.
No, but I think it's old enough that if they're making, I saw this the other day, they're making a horror movie based on Winnie the Pooh because he's entered the public domain.
Oh.
So basically, if you're thinking about making something that you think could last to the point of it becoming in the public domain, if you don't want people to completely like on it, no edits on it, then maybe think twice because people will take free reign on your idea in about 50 years. I believe that is the time limit. Okay, here we go. United Kingdom as our number one.
Wow.
Who would have thunk it? Oh wait, no, this isn't right. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, they still are. United Kingdom, number one, check. It's probably the Queen listening to our takes on her. I don't think we said anything too offensive. The only thing that scares me with that is we talk in a British accent a lot, and like they'll know whether or not it's good. Okay, next, Canada. Great. United States. Good to see you. Germany, what's up? India, hello. Although it's kind of embarrassing. We only have 3 listeners from India, and I'm pretty sure there's like over 1 billion people in India.
Yeah, so not a good percentage there.
No, not at all. Malta, what's up? I'm not quite sure I know where that is. New Zealand, the Lord's listening to us. Uzbekistan.
Oh.
Yes. See, here's the thing. If you're a little bit geographically challenged as I am, I have a hot tip. Watch 90 Day Fiance. You start learning where all these countries are and where they are in relation to America, and then you'll get to learn about like the extradition laws, like the visa laws. It's a whole course. There's some psychology at play. So yeah, Uzbekistan, Finland. Oh my gosh.
You definitely need a lot of geographical help. So good tip.
That will be an episode in the future. But yeah, Finland. We have 1 listener from Finland. How did we make it on the charts? How did we chart in a country that 1 person listened to us? Imagine if you're below us. If you run a podcast that's below us in Finland on the charts, that's kind of embarrassing for you, I have to say.
Yeah.
Ireland, hello. And Mexico. Again,
Hola.
an unknown country people listened. And by listened, I'm pretty sure it just means that they clicked on it once. So they probably heard who's ever voice talked first in the first episode, and that was it. So I was going to say our voices are heard in Finland, but not necessarily the case, unfortunately. But yeah, I think let's move on to the content recap. Do you have any content that you'd like to recap? Because this seems like the place for it. Also, the laptop's at 3% and no edits, no edits.
Did I talk about The Summer I Turned Pretty last week?
No, you didn't.
Oh, well, that's a show I binge watched. I read The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han probably in high school at some point, many moons ago.
Many moons.
And they just adapted it on Amazon Prime into a TV show, and I binge watched it, and it was. I don't quite remember what happened in the books because it's been so long, but I was not disappointed from what I did remember.
Oh, that's good.
And actually, I just finished a book that is the same sort of vibe. So if you like The Summer I Turned Pretty, but you want something a little more, like a grown up, read Every Summer After by Carly Fortune.
Ooh, rich.
Same thing, like takes place summertime at a cabin or a lake house, whatever you want to call it. Except it's however many years later and the girl's 30 and not 17.
See, I don't think I can read The Summer I Turned Pretty because I always longed for a summer where I would turn at least not ugly, and it never happened.
Yeah, you're always waiting for the glow up.
And it was always kind of embarrassing when you saw the one person. There was at least one or two every summer that would have the glow up, and you're like, that wasn't me.
But can I just say that there's two teams, as there are with many things targeted towards the female demographic,
Yes.
Team love interest A, team love interest B. And I would just like to say there is a right and a wrong answer.
Okay.
To who you prefer in The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I have thoughts about it. So if you want to discuss
DM us, DM
us, and
I'll refer you to Kata.
We can have a nice deep discussion. Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad, because there's a right and a wrong, just like there is with every ship. I have very opinionated opinions.
Yeah, Jacob or Edward.
Things. Actually, I do polls on my close friends on Snapchat or whatever, my private story, whatever it's called.
Honestly, our podcast audience could be a private story.
Honestly, I think it is. Anyway, I do polls about do you prefer from Gilmore Girls, Dean, Jess, or Logan? And then I, analyze the results.
So you would give that show Summer I Turned Pretty, you would say thumbs up, do it?
Oh yeah. I'm really excited for the next season. I binged the whole thing in a night.
How many episodes?
It was 7.
Oh. Yeah, TV shows need to start being longer. Movies need to start being shorter.
Bring back the 90-minute movie.
Bring back the 90-minute movie. Because unless there's a reason you're making me sit there with my sweaty ass cheeks in a movie seat theater for 2 hours and 58 minutes, unless it's necessary, leave me be. Leave us alone. Give us an hour and a half. Give us a Disney movie type.
Give me 90 minutes. I don't want more, especially with everyone having no attention spans anymore.
Yeah, this is stupid. Quick question. I watched Encanto, and it was really good, and it was 90 minutes perfect. Although the ending, it kind of wrapped up pretty quick, but it got me thinking: how are kids does a little kid, it was kind of complicated. I was kind of confused. How does a kid understand Encanto? I couldn't.
We don't talk about
Bruno, no. They don't talk about Bruno, but they sing about him for a good 45 minutes. It was quite confusing, but I'll add it to the content recap. I would say, great film. I just don't understand how these kids are understanding these plots.
Who wrote Encanto?
I don't know, but it was pretty good. And I'm not saying I think kids are way smarter than we give them credit for, but it was just complicated. It was just a complex.
Do you want to know why?
If you're gonna wrap it back to Hamilton,
I am. You know me so well. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I had a hunch because it was so good and it's a musical, so it has to include him.
What do you mean he wrote it? He wrote the music?
Yeah, let's see what he did. Story by Jared Bush, Byron Howard.
Like the president?
Charisse Castro-Smith, Jason Hand, Nancy Cruz, and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, well, no wonder it was so confusing. 15 people wrote it. they're just like, no, this is my chapter. This is your chapter. They basically did a TV show. But yeah, no, it was very good. I just like, and it wasn't. I don't know if it was confusing, but I just don't understand like how the youths, like how are the kids,
How are
especially
the 5-year-olds?
understanding that, or do they just see like colors and think like, oh, this is fun? It must be that. Like they
The
like,
music's catchy, so.
yeah, they listen for the beat, I would say. Okay, my content recap. I do have some. Is that where you done? Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I would like, again, not to go on a tangent, but I'm reading a book. It's called The Last Event, no edits, no edits. The Last to Vanish by Megan Miranda. And not to brag, but this book comes out. I'll get the exact date because then it'll count as me promoting it. It comes out July 26th. Now you're probably wondering, how do you read a book that comes out July 26th? Is he involved in something illegal? No.
We're hashtag influencers.
So basically, we got the pleasure of reading an advanced copy of this book because we were recognized by a website that gives out like advanced ebooks as influencers. It's a website called NetGalley, and I'll be honest, it's less cool with this piece of information, but you have to sign up for it. You basically go in and say like, I do this, this is the link to this or whatever. And I basically signed us up as, in quotations, people of the media. And I was like, hey, worst that happens is they say, yeah, no, you're not, and they kick you out. But I basically wrote in the comment box in the signups, I was like, listen, people in suits. We have absolutely no listeners. We have no followership, and probably won't, if not ever, for a long time.
Yeah.
But what we do have is low taste. I'll like pretty much anything. I don't really walk away unless no, but like me, like you probably. You're a bit classier.
But every time I ask you, like, oh, did you like the book you read? You're like, not really.
But have I ever said I hated it?
No, but you never liked it.
No, but I think that's just my disconnect with books in general, even though we are hashtag.
I think it's just your lack of emotions.
It's probably that, which we could
That's
get
a
in.
whole other episode.
That's a whole there, but that's a whole series. Let's save that for our HBO limited documentary series 4-part event for the Oprah Life Class chapter. But yeah, I basically said, listen, we'll give your book a good review. And so far, I'm like 20% into this book, and it's pretty good. So I would definitely recommend it. I'll give you a full recap next week because I think the more we promote it, the more they're going to send us more books. So, I mean, hey, you should buy this book. The Last to Vanish, pre-order it, audiobook it. I'm sure link in all the descriptions.
In the description.
Speaking of descriptions, our TikToks are honestly like, I don't want to, blow smoke up our own tukuses, but they're pretty good.
Well, as someone who has a bit of a following on TikTok, who has blown up 1 or 2 times, I could say
I've blown up 1 or 2 times, but it had nothing to do with TikTok.
that we have a lot of room for
Chipotle.
improvement.
Oh, so you don't like them?
I don't think they're going to get us trending on the For You page. I don't think we're going to be viral from them.
Oh.
But you know what? This is maybe a conversation. This is a conversation for our
social media team.
Yeah, for our personal meetings.
Okay, yeah.
Not something that we should hash out on the podcast.
Our meeting of the minds, yeah. It's getting very meta, I would say. Very meta. Well, we did it. We did it once again. I think there'll be minimal edits. Bless you. I'll throw one in so you don't feel as left out. They probably didn't even
do that. I said we did it, Joe.
Oh, you didn't?
I heard a burp.
Oh, I heard a burp.
Play that back. I definitely just said we did it, Joe, and you said excuse you.
So I burped for no reason, and now everyone's just gonna hear my burp. Actually, in the 3rd episode, I burped like loud, and I just left it in.
Cute.
Excuse me. No edits. Well, thank you for joining us. Please follow us, TikTok, Instagram. I'd say those are the 2 main ones. We do have a Twitter. We have a Facebook group. I think we need a certain amount of likes to be able to kind of customize that and control that to
the page.
The level of quality that we'd want. Hey, if you're that invested, we can give you the Zoom link to this podcast recording.
If you want to jump in.
If you want to jump in, if you have anything fun to say, if you have anything not fun to say, just don't be boring. Like we
Yeah,
are.
you have to have more energy than us because we're
Yeah,
pretty boring.
we're filling the boring, and we know that, but we'll get there one day.
Well, you know what? Nobody asked for this, and I
Nobody
think that,
asked for it.
that's a good way to wrap up today
Because if we gave them something that somebody asked for, we're doing the exact opposite of what we tried to do here,
of what we are.
which is a podcast called Nobody.
Nobody asked for this.